Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. श्रील प्रभुपाद की, हरि नाम संकीर्तनम की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, ताय गौर सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमामो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So today's Srimad Bhagavatam we will discuss from Canto 10, Chapter 65, verses 20 to 27. So 27th verse is written on the board. So 20 to 26 verses there is no purport. So we will just recite the verse translation and then we will recite and discuss verse number 27. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse number 20. Tam gandham madhudharaya vayunopahritam balaha agrayopagatasthatra lalanabhi samam papau. Translation: the wind carried to Balaram the fragrance of that flood of sweet liquor, and when he smelled it, he went to the tree. There he and his female companions drank. Upagiyamano gandharvair vanita shobimandale reme karenu yutesho mahendra hivavaranaha. As the Gandharvas sang his glories, Lord Balaram enjoyed within the brilliant circle of young women. He appeared just like Indra's elephant, the lordly Airavata, enjoying in the company of she-elephants. Neder dundu bhayo vyomni vavrishu kusumair muda Gandharvam munayo ramam tadviryair idire tada. At that time, kettle drums resounded in the sky. The Gandharvas joyfully rained down flowers, and the great sages praised Lord Balaram's heroic deeds. Upagiyamana charito vanita birhalayudah vanishu vyacharat kshivo mada vihvala lochanaha. As his deeds were sung, Lord Halayuda wandered as if inebriated among the various forests with his girlfriends. His eyes rolled from the effects of the liquor. Sragya eka kundalo matto Vaijayantya chamalaya Bhibrat smita mukam bhojam Sweda praleya bhushitam Sa ajuhava yamunam Jalakridartamishvaraha Nijam vakyam anadritya Matta ityapagambalaha Anagatam halagrena Kupito vichakarshaha. Intoxicated with joy, Lord Balaram sported flower garlands, including the famous Vaijayanti. He wore a single earring. The beads of perspiration decorated his smiling lotus face like snowflakes. The Lord then summoned the Yamuna river so that he could play in her waters. But she disregarded his command, thinking he was drunk. This angered Balaram, and he began dragging the river with the tip of his plow. Pape tvam mam avagnaya yannayasi mayahuta nishye tvam langalagrena shatada kamacharini. Lord Balaram said, O sinful one, disrespecting me, you do not come when I call you, but rather move only by your own whim. Therefore, with the tip of my plow, I shall bring you here in 100 streams. Now we'll recite today's verse, which is written on the board. You can repeat after me. Verse number 27. Evam nirbhartishita bhita Yamuna yadunandanam Uvacha chakita vacham Patita padayor nripa Evam nirbhartishita bhita Nirbharsita bhita Yamuna yadunandanam Uvacha chakita vacham Patita padayor nripa Evam nirbharsita bhita Yamuna yadunandanam Uvacha Chakita Vacham Patita Padayor Nripa Kevam. Evam nirvarsita bhita na yadunandanam yuva. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Evam thus Nirbharsita scolded, Bhita afraid, Yamuna the presiding goddess of river Yamuna, Yadunandanam to the beloved descendant of Yadu, Lord Balaram, Uvacha spoke, Chakita trembling, Vacham words, Patita fallen, Padayo at his feet, Nripa, O King Parikshit. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus, scolded by the Lord, O King, the frightened river goddess Yamuna came and fell at the feet of Sri Balaram, the beloved descendant of Yadu. Trembling, she spoke to him the following words. Purport. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the goddess who appeared before Lord Balaram is an expansion of Srimati Kalindi, one of the Lord Krishna's queens in Dwaraka. Srila Jiva Goswami calls her a shadow of Kalindi, and Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti confirms that she is an expansion of Kalindi, not Kalindi herself. Srila Jiva Goswami also gives evidence from Sri Harivamsha in the statement Pratyuvacharnava Vadum that goddess Yamuna is the wife of the ocean. The Harivamsha therefore also refers to her as Sagarangana. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, we are discussing this episode in Srimad Bhagvatam when Lord Balaram visits Vrindavan. So, Balaram visits Vrindavan and sees all the Brajbasis, Yashoda, Nandamava, other cowherd men, women, gopis, gopas. They are very much in separation from Krishna and they are very much feeling very viraha from Krishna. And just they are maintaining their lives so that they can again meet or take darshan of Krishna. And Lord Balram comes and meets them, talks to them, tries to console them. And then afterwards, along with the set of gopis, he goes out and performs Ras Leela. During that time, he wanted to play in the waters of Yamuna, so he summons Yamuna. And she ignores because she sees that Balaram is drunk. Maybe when one is in drunken state, when he speaks something, so that she thinks that should not be given so much importance now. So, but Balaram takes it very serious. Often he feels that he is very proud And Yamuna also thinks that maybe if he wants, then he will come to my waters and play. He's calling me, why I should go there? Anyway, so Balaram then he shows his power. Before also once when he goes to Duryodhan, I think afterwards this episode comes, or before it came. So when Samba kidnaps Lakshmana, then he was arrested. And that time also Balaram goes. And when they don't hear Balaram's request and they insult him, or Yadus, that time also Balaram shows his power. He uses his plow. And that time he tells that I will drag all this Kurukshetra and throw it in Yamuna. So Balaram is very powerful. So Balaram, he went here this time, and finally Yamuna, seeing Balaram's mood, she becomes fearful and submits herself. But this Yamuna who comes in front of Balaram is not the Kalindi. Kalindi is the wife of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. Actually, when Krishna and Arjun goes on a Vihar Yatra, then they see this woman. She was born as a daughter of Kalind Parvat, Kalindini, and she was also son's daughter. She also takes birth as son's daughter, and son builds her a palace inside the Yamuna river, and she stays in that palace. And while she once comes out and she was roaming around, then that time Arjuna sees, and then Krishna tells to inquire about her, and that's how then she gets married to Krishna. So she's not that same Kalindi, but she is the expansion of Kalindi. Kalindi is also the avatar of Yamuna only. Okay. So this episode of Balram visiting the Vrindavan, and he gives the message of Krishna to the Vrajavasis also, but still he could not pacify completely Vrajavasis' separation from Krishna. And then he promises them that I will inform Krishna about your status, and I'll persuade him and request him to come and immediately meet you all. And then that's so after 2 months he leaves. But that mission, means the promise which he makes to the Vrajavasis, that he could not immediately fulfill, because when he goes back and tells to Krishna that you should immediately go to Vrajavasis, their condition is very serious. Without you, they will die if you don't go there. He repeatedly requests, but Krishna tells, okay, I will go. But he postpones his request. So a long time passes, and Krishna also, it's not like he is not having feeling separation from Vrindavan. Even though he was in Dwaraka, he was always feeling separation from Vrindavan, and separation from Vrajavasis, separation from Radharani and Gopis. So he used to always, even in dream, even while he was sleeping, he used to think of Vrajavasis. He used to chant the name of Radharani or Gopis. So sometimes the queens of Dwaraka, Rukmini and others, they think we are serving our husband so nicely, but still what is there in Vrindavan? Who are these Vrajavasis? That Krishna is unable to forget them, and always he is only recalling their names. And you know this story, then they request Rohini Mata once when she comes to Dwaraka that what is this? We want to hear about this Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan, about Vrajavasis. Always he is calling the names of these Gopis and Vrajavasis, Radharan. So then Rohini Mata tells them, okay, I can tell you the pastimes of Krishna, but on a condition that somebody should guard the entrance, and Subhadra guards the entrance, that if Krishna and Balaram comes, inform me, because they are also very eager to hear. They may come, and then I cannot speak like that. So then fine, in that condition, all the queens assemble at Dwaraka in Rohini's Mata's quarter, and Shubhadra was kept as a guard and the entrance. And Rohini Mata starts describing Vrajalila, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And Krishna and Balaram also comes to know, and they immediately depart for Rohini Mata's house. And Subhadra Mata also, hearing the pastimes, she also becomes ecstatic and absorbed, and she also goes in ecstasy, right? And Krishna Balaram comes, and Subhadra was standing on the way, so they cannot cross her. So they both stand the two sides of Subhadra Maharani, Krishna and Balaram, and all they also go in ecstasy. And this form of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, that is actually the Balram, Jagannath, and Subhadra Maharani in ecstasy. When they are in Mahabhav, they exhibit this form. The eyes are dilated, and then the hands and legs go inside and all. Then that time Narad Muni comes and sees this special form. And after that they come back to normal form. Then Narad Muni requests, this is very nice, this special form. I want to get darshan of this form. Then he tells that in Jagannath Puri, I will give you this darshan of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So that is the reason behind Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani's these special forms. There is one more story which our acharyas say related to this form of Jagannath, and this is also connected with this pastime. So because Krishna was living in Dwaraka in separation from Vrindavan, like Brajavasis were living in Vrindavan separation from Krishna, Krishna was also living in separation, always thinking about gopis, Radharani and Brajavasis. And one day he was thinking about Radharani deeply, and while thinking he became unconscious, chanting the names of Radha, and fell down at Dwaraka. So that time, that time, Uddhav and Narad Muni, they happen to be present there. They see Krishna's condition, that Krishna has become unconscious, because they are great devotees of Krishna, Prem Bhaktas. So they could immediately understand that Krishna in separation, feeling in separation from Radharani and Vrindavan and Brajavasis, he became unconscious and fell down. And they were thinking what to do. And they were also feeling, Narad Muni, and that maybe Krishna want to exhibit some special pastime, mysterious Leela, this is mysterious Leela. And when they were discussing what to do and all, and then that time Balaram also comes there. And Balaram also sees that Krishna is in unconscious state, and he also understands in which state Krishna is there. Then immediately suggests Narad Muni that to make Krishna conscious, they say that Uddhav and Balaram tell to Narad Muni that, Narad Muni, if you sing Krishna Kirtan, Narad Muni bajaye veena radhika ramana name. So if you sing, you play your veena and sing Krishna Kirtan, Krishna's names, chant Krishna's name, chant Krishna's glories, then immediately Krishna will wake up and become conscious. Then Narad Muni says, yes, good idea. Definitely Krishna will become conscious, but the state in which now Krishna is there, he is in the mood of feeling separation from Vrindavan. As soon as he will become conscious, he would like to go to Vrindavan. He will search for Vrindavan, he will go to Vrindavan, like this. So that is the reason why I think we should first prepare, make some arrangement. We should prepare his chariot ready, so that as soon as he become conscious, as soon as he wants to go to Vrindavan, immediately he can board the chariot and go. So let us make his chariot ready. So they call Daruka and inform Daruka to get the chariot ready, and chariot is standing at the entrance with Daruka, the driver, ready. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki Jai. So then, when Narad Muni was about to sing, then immediately Uddhav senses there is something wrong in this plan. Immediately Uddhav says, actually, last time when I went to Vrindavan, I saw the condition of Vrajavasis. So they are in feeling acute pangs of separation of Krishna, and they're crying day and night. And if Krishna goes immediately to Vrindavan and sees Vrajavasis in this state, then Krishna will never come back to Dwaraka. So we cannot get back Krishna to Dwaraka. So Krishna should not visit Vrindavan and Vrajavasis see in that mood them. So we should first of all make some pre-arrangement that Vrajavasis welcome Krishna in a very happy mood when Krishna goes to Vrindavan. Then immediately then Balram and Narad Muni suggest Uddhav, so why don't you go first and inform Vrajavasis that Krishna is going to come. So they will make all arrangements, they will be in very happy mood, and they will welcome, garland, arti, and they'll do nice welcoming for Krishna, and Krishna also will be very happy seeing them in very happy condition, and will spend some time and come back. So then immediately Uddhav says, I went last time, Krishna sent me with a message, with a letter, and I went and stayed for 3 months. I tried to console Nanda Baba, Yashodamai, Gopis and other Vrajavasis. But 3 months I stayed and tried to console, but I could not. They were crying for Krishna. How could I console? If somebody has died in the home and somebody is crying, family members, I can tell that, Atma is permanent, Sharir is temporary, no need to cry. The Atma has got a good destination. Something I can say. But here they are crying for Krishna. How can I say, don't cry for Krishna? So that is ultimate perfection, crying for Krishna. So I could not say them and I could not console them. And I saw that their condition. And I promised them that nobody can console you. So only Krishna can come and console you or satisfy you. So that's why I'll go back to Vrindavan, and as soon as possible I will immediately send Krishna to you. I gave this promise and came back to Vrindavan. And I explained everything to Krishna, but Krishna did not go. So that is the reason why, if suppose I now go and tell that Krishna is coming, they are not going to believe. Nobody will believe me. Rather they will tell, even Nanda Baba, Yashodamai, they will tell, Uddhav, you are lying. You are liar. Last time also you promised. So they will not believe in my promise. So that's why if I go, then there is no use. So that's why I cannot go. Someone else can go. Then they suggest, Narad Muni has to stay there because he has to make Krishna conscious by singing. So Narad Muni is not going to go. So then Balaram was there. So they suggested then Narad Muni and Uddhav, Balaram, you can go. You can go and inform. Then Balaram told about this visit, which we are discussing now. Balaram told that I also went once. I also stayed for 2 months. I also forwarded the message Krishna which gave me to them. I also saw them in their, they were very much in separation, crying day and night. I also tried to console them. I also failed in consoling them. I also promised them that I will go back and send Krishna to you. And generally, when I came back, I told Krishna the situation. Generally, Krishna used to follow my request or order and immediately execute. But this time, he delayed and he always kept postponing that I'll go like this. So he did not go till now. So if I go now, they will again don't believe me. They will not believe my words. They will say you are lying and they will be disappointed. So that's why I cannot go. So then 3 of them were thinking what to do then. Now who will go? At that point of time, Subhadra Maharani arrives. And she sees and understands the situation and their trouble. And Subhadra Maharani herself volunteers. She tells, I will go. I will go first and I can go to Nanda Baba and Yashodamai, and I will explain them that Krishna is coming behind, and Krishna is coming, and actually on the way Krishna is there behind me only. We started together, but many people on the way they came and want to meet to Krishna, and they want to do arti. They are doing arti. They are offering so many things. So talking to them, meeting them, Krishna is getting delayed. So Krishna is just on the way. So I will explain them and I will tell them previously Suddhav came and Balaram came. They are men. The men are like that only. We should not believe. We cannot believe in men. I'll tell to gopis that I am also like you, women. So I am simple. We are all simple people. So this time what I'm saying is truth. So, and they'll become happy. They'll believe in me and they'll become happy and make them ready. All arrangement so that they can welcome Krishna very nicely in happy mood. So then Balaram, Uddhav and Narad Muni finds this is good. Then they says that they tell, okay, then we'll ready first Subhadra's Rath. And they make Subhadra Maharani's Rath ready and Subhadra was about to go. Then Balaram says, okay, if Subhadra is going, then I can go along with her. Krishna is going to go immediately after that. So I can also go. Why I will stay back? So then Balaram told my Rath also to be ready. So first Balaram Rath leaves and then Subhadra Maharani also boards and she leaves. That's why in Rath Yatra first Balaram goes, next Subhadra Maharani goes Rath and finally Jagannath leaves. The plan was that immediately as soon as Subhadra Maharani's Rath leaves and Balaram's Rath leaves, both of them leave, immediately Narad Muni will sing. And Krishna's Rath was ready. So Narad Muni starts singing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories. He starts singing Kirtan Bhajan. Krishna hearing Narad Muni's Kirtan, he becomes conscious. As soon as he becomes conscious, he actually becomes conscious and he stands in three-bending form, Tribhanga form. Generally, now he's in mood of like Vrindavan Krishna. And he was searching for his flute. And he was telling, where is my flute? I think gopis have stolen my flute. And he was searching, where is the gopis who have stolen my flute? Then he sees Uddhav. And he says, oh Uddhav, what are you doing here Vrindavan? So then, so Uddhav and Narad tells Krishna that we are in Dwaraka. I know that you wanted to go to Vrindavan, so we kept the chariot ready. Oh, hearing this, feeling separation from Radharani, oh, I'm in Dwaraka, I have to go to Vrindavan, and I will go to Vrindavan immediately. He, in the mood of separation from Radharani, Krishna becomes maddened with the Radharani bhav. Thinking of Radharani becomes mad, like one who is drunk. So, now Krishna's state is like that. Means he has drunk the love or the mood of Radharani, and in that drunken state, the way a drunkard walks or behaves, like that Krishna is there. Now Krishna wants to board the chariot and go to Vrindavan, but he is unable to walk because he is in drunken state. He is maddened by the love of Radharani, thinking of Radharani. So then Uddhav and Narad Muni, they hold, both of them together hold Krishna, and then with great difficulty they take him towards the chariot. So he goes like that's what you see in Jagannath Rath Yatra time. Jagannath boarding chariot, Pandu Vijay, the festival we celebrate, where Jagannath is taken. Even in Jagannath Puri also, like many pillows are kept. And Daityapatis, they take Jagannath like a person who, drunken person walks, like that Jagannath walks, like that they take. So they keep on resting on the pillows, and pillow also sometimes fat jata hai, and all the cotton floats. So in that mood only the Krishna was there. So actually this is the mood of Jagannath. This is the mood of Jagannath while he is boarding the chariot. He is in separation, feeling separation from Radharani. In Radharani Viraha, he is floating in the ocean of love of Radha Bhav. So then with great difficulty, and finally Narad Muni and Uddhav boards Krishna on the chariot, and Krishna leaves for the chariot leaves for Vrindavan. As per the plan, Subhadra Maharani's and Balram's chariot reaches first Vrindavan, and they go to meet Vrajvasis, Nanda Baba and Yashoda. But on the way, they see their feelings of separation for Krishna, the way they are crying and the way they are talking and the way they are living. Seeing their condition, Balaram and Subhadra Maharani, just by seeing their condition, how they are surviving in separation with Krishna, for Krishna, how they are surviving this state, they go into ecstasy. They go into ecstasy and Mahabhav, and they exhibit this form of Subhadra and Balram, which you see in Jagannath Puri or in the altar of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, ecstatic forms. Therefore, they show all the 8 ecstatic symptoms, Ashtasattvic Vigar, and they exhibit this form of Balram and Subhadra. Then, in meantime, Krishna, meantime in Vrindavan, they become ecstatic and they become like, they go into ecstasy, Balaram and Subhadra. And in Vrindavan, by the time, Radharani's situation was in very critical state. Radharani was in separation from Krishna, almost like in the stage of leaving her body. The news spread all over Vrindavan. And Radharani is in her kunj in Nidhuvan. She was there and she is lying down, putting her head in the palms of Lalita Sakhi. She is like lying down, senseless and like about to leave the body in that state. And that is how the information is spread all over Vrindavan. Radharani is going to leave the body in separation from Krishna. And all the Ashtasakis, they are sitting around and they are thinking what to do, seeing the Radharani in that condition. At that point of time, knowing the news, first, in fact, the Radharani's situation was like this, that Lalita and Vishaka, they keep the cotton at the nostrils of Radharani to check whether she is still alive or not. They see that she is alive, but she is in a very precarious condition, her state. That point of time, Ayan Ghosh comes. Ayan Ghosh. Ayan Ghosh is basically Abhimanyu, the husband of Radharani in the Leela. So Ayan Ghosh comes running and falls at the feet of Radharani, seeing her in situation, and he laments and begs forgiveness, and he puts the dust of lotus feet of Radharani on his head, and he says that I have troubled you so much. Actually, I was a worshipper of a Katyayani, this Ayan Ghosh, Abhimanyu, and actually I am not your real husband. I never touched you. I married actually Chaya Radha, the image, shadow of Radharani, and you are not my wife. Your real husband is Krishna. But Krishna wanted this way the Leela to happen. He wanted to enjoy the Parakiya Ras. So that's why, because of his Leela, this Purnamasi, she arranged this Leela to happen in this way. She arranged Vrinda Devi to make both of our marriage, so that Krishna can have the Leela of Parakiya Ras. But actually, you are Krishna's, Krishna is your real husband, and you are my Aradhya Devata, like you are my worshipable goddess. So now you are in this situation, so that's why I am begging forgiveness, and he laments, and so this Ayan Ghosh says. Then afterwards, after some time, Kutila also comes running, knowing this news that Radharani is leaving the body. So Kutila comes running, and she also falls at the lotus feet of Radharani, and she also takes the lotus dust to it and puts on her Sinti, that where women part the hair, there she keeps. And she also expresses the forgiveness that always I used to criticize and spread rumors on you, and always I used to call you and always complain about you to Ayan Ghosh that you are going to meet Krishna. So I wanted to prove always that you are very unchaste. You are like a prostitute, that you are going to Yamuna to just meet Krishna. So I tried many times to dishonor you, insult you, and all. And myself, I used to blow my own trumpet. Means I used to advertise myself that I am the only most chaste lady. I am the Sati of the whole Vrindavan. All the ladies of Vrindavan are not chaste. I am the most chaste lady. And I used to tell that you are unchaste. Like this, I used to advertise myself. But I was wrong, and it was proved by Krishna. Krishna did one Leela, Jwar Leela. Krishna once performed a Jwar Leela where he got intense fever. And he got one rogue called as Sannyas Rog, where the rogue is that ki, where the symptom is that the person says, I will leave everything. I will give up everything and take sannyas. So Krishna was doing like this. And then the medicine, the remedy was to get rid of this fever and this rogue. The remedy was if the most chaste lady, if she can bring and administer the medicine, then he will be cured. How you to identify the most chaste lady is the one who can bring from a pot which has 100 holes. She has to go to Yamuna and fetch the water and bring. And all the water, that water only should be applied to the body of Krishna. Then Krishna will be relieved from the fever. So normally, if the pot has 100 holes, immediately water will all be poured down. So only chaste lady can bring the water. The water will not leak from the pot. So as soon as this information was spread out, then all the ladies in Vrindavan called me and told me, so you are the most chaste lady, so go and bring the water for Krishna, and gave me the pot. So I also was very proud. So I went running, and when I fetched the water from Yamuna, all the water fell down. All the water fell down. So all my pride were crushed. So then afterwards, then ladies requested Radharani. So Radharani went, and with the same pot, she fetched the water, and not a single drop of water fell down from the pot, and she brought whole water to the Krishna, and the water was applied to the body of Krishna, and he was cured of the disease or jwar. So that time it was proved that you are the most chaste lady and I was unchaste. And my pride was crushed by Krishna. He performed this Leela. So please forgive me. And she also lamented and begged forgiveness. Like that, one by one was coming, and one more came after this. This was Chandravali. Chandravali came running, knowing that Radharani is living body. And Chandravali also came and fell on the feet of Radharani. And she also lamented, and she was crying, and she was telling Radharani that I am Kalankini. Everybody was telling you that you are Kalankini. But actually I am Kalankini. I am condemned. So many times Krishna used to come to my kunj sometimes, right? But actually Krishna loves you most. Even though he comes to my kunj, I see that always he is thinking of you only. Whenever he is with me, he is only chanting your name and thinking of you. He loves you most. And then why does he come to my kunj? Then she tells, he comes to my kunj only to increase your mood. You are Vamaswabhav, leftist, Radharani. to increase the Vama Swabhava of Radharani, to increase the mood of Radharani, to increase the man, to perform the man lila and such leelas. So he comes to my kunj. That's all. But actually he loves you the most. So Chandravali's wing is right wing, and Radharani's wing is left wing. Vama Swabhava means their feeling is Krishna Amar. Krishna is ours. Krishna is mine. This is Vama Swabhava lady's feeling, Gopi's feeling, or Radharani's feeling. Chandravali is the right wing. Her feelings, their feeling is I am Krishna's. Ami Tomar. I am Krishna's. So they are very submissive, and whatever Krishna says, they follow and do. They will never go against, or they are not rebellious, or they don't do man and all these things. Like I think you have already covered the chapter of Krishna and Rukmini's Samvad, where Krishna teases Rukmini. Purposefully he teases Rukmini. And once he says, right, that I think, no, I'm not a fit husband to you. You can choose someone else. Go to someone else. Your choice. Then Rukmini just cries. She cries. She doesn't argue or, she cries. That is the mood. She's like Chandravali's counterpart in Dwaraka Lila. And Satyabhama is the counterpart of Radharani. Satyabhama's mood is quite different. So, the mood is... So, to elevate that mood and have the Leela, Krishna actually comes to my Kunja. But actually he is always thinking of you. And if you leave the planet, then we all cannot survive. Because if you leave Vrindavan, or if you leave this body, Krishna will never come to Vrindavan. And if Krishna will never come to Vrindavan, if you leave the body, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan will leave the body. So that's why you should not leave the body. That's how she prays to Radharani. At that point of time, Krishna's chariot enters Vrindavan. And by the will of providence, Krishna directly first comes to Nidhuvan, towards Nidhuvan. As he comes to know that Radharani is there in Nidhuvan, he comes running and he's calling Radharani's name and shouting for Radharani's kripa and mercy. Krishna coming, but from distance, Krishna sees Radharani's situation. He was very excited, Krishna, seeing Radharani, and he goes in ecstasy and exhibits the Jagannath form, the Ashtasattvic and Mahabhav and Prakashan form. And then he sees Radharani that she is lying unconscious and she is like, her situation is very critical. Seeing this, he becomes very little viraha of Radharani that she is living, and he becomes in that viraha, in that form only, Jagannath form only, he becomes unconscious and falls down. Like his body becomes like tortoise. And then he falls down on the way, in front of Radharani, some distance ahead of Radharani. Now Radharani is in unconscious state only. Now both are unconscious state. Okay. And both are feeling viraha, separation from each other. At that point of time, the air which touches the body of Krishna, goes and touches the body of Radharani, and Radharani becomes conscious. She becomes conscious. She comes back to consciousness and sees Krishna and becomes very happy. And then Lalita and Vishaka, she says to Vishaka, go and wake up Krishna. And Vishaka goes and chants the name of Radharani in the ears of Krishna. And hearing the name of Radharani, Krishna becomes conscious. And now Krishna seeing the Radharani, this is basically Radha Krishna Milan. After the separation, this is the Milan, union. And then Krishna exhibits his Shyam Sundar form and meets Radharani. And then they spend time in Nidhuvan, and then whole night and morning there is Mangalarti, and then Krishna tells to Radharani, where is Viraha? Where is Dwaraka? So we are united. If there is no viraha, then prema cannot remain alive. This viraha kept the prema alive. So viraha plays an important role, Krishna says, and because of this viraha, now after the viraha, then this union has like this viraha makes the intensity of prema heightened, so that the when union happens, there is more pleasure, happiness. So that is why viraha is there. So Krishna very happy, and so this is actually the mood of Jagannath, because Radha is coming ahead in few days, maybe after 1 week, less than 1 week. So this is the mood of Jagannath. Jagannath mood is he is feeling separation from, means he is Krishna feeling separation from Radharani, and Mahaprabhu's mood is Radharani feeling separation from Krishna. That's why when Mahaprabhu first visited Jagannath Puri, as soon as he went and saw Jagannath, he actually fainted immediately. So at that time, Krishna tells to Radharani that I will reside in this Jagannath form, in this form feeling separation from you, and in that form as Jagannath in Puri. In that form, I will be always drowned in the ocean of Radharani's love. And because this union happened because with the help of Subhadra and Balaram, so that's why they both also will be there along with me, staying at the ocean, near the ocean at Nilachal Dham. So we three of them will be there as Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in Nilachal. And I will also take another form in your mood of separation as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I will come to Puri. So Mahaprabhu going to Puri is like he is in separation from Krishna. So when Mahaprabhu goes to Jagannath Darshan, he's like, he's seeing Krishna. He's seeing Shyam Sundar Krishna in Jagannath. And Jagannath is seeing Radharani in Mahaprabhu. So that's why this whole Rath Yatra is all this mood that Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Radharani and the Gaudiya Vaishnavas means the followers of Mahaprabhu, we pull the Rath with this mood that we are taking Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra or Krishna to Vrindavan. So that's why Krishna says that Jagannath appears as 3 logs of wood floating in the ocean. He comes to the shore. So that is indicated as like he's always floating in the ocean of Radharani's love or bhav. And that's why he floats and comes and he lives in that mood in Jagannath Puri. Okay, I think time is up. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagvatam ki, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Dai Gaur Sitanath Premanande.